from her face. This time, she lifted the fabric enough to peek out at her surroundings with part of an eye. The world was surprisingly bright in the moonlight. Blank white snow edged with a row of naked trees that seemed to observe her from a distance, a row of quiet, cold skeletons. I'm standing on the lake. The girl forced the blindfold over her temples and finally freed herself from it completely. Disoriented because the snowfall blurred all boundaries between the lake and the shore, she decided to make her way toward the trees that beckoned with thin, leafless arms. A soft crunching sound broke the silence, a sound that did not bode well. Weren't there people across the ice waiting for her? A group of slender girls? If only she could hurry across before it was too late. She took another step, and the sickening crunch of ice beneath her feet grew louder. A series of cracking sounds followed like gunshot, multiple fissures hacking apart the flat surface of the ground. Cold shot through her body as if ice water had suddenly been injected into her veins and poured into her skull. The shock of plummeting down, down, down into a world without air. The lead weight of the chains on her limbs that only a split second before had been mere clothes. She gasped for oxygen and inhaled icy water. Her struggling lungs were paralyzed, then crushed in a liquid black hole. As her pain receded, she glimpsed the water nymphs who reached toward her with slender hands and flowing hair, pulling her down, deeper into the water to join them where they lived, at the bottom of the lake. Two. Our Lady of Sorrows. Dear Dad, sometimes I don't understand Mom at all. I know she hates miniskirts, so why is she so excited about the prospect of her daughter donning a Britney Spears outfit and going to a private school for girls? I know I'm the one who wrote the application essay and everything, but that was when I thought there was no way they could give me a scholarship. The last thing I want is to hang around a bunch of debutantes who will probably give me the stink eye because I live on the wrong side of town. There is no way I'm going to Our Lady of Sorrows. Gilda, you should at least give this school a chance. Gilda slumped in the front seat of her mother's Oldsmobile and fanned herself with the glossy brochure from Our Lady of Sorrows School for Girls. The air conditioner in the car was broken, and in the August humidity, the pantyhose her mother had forced her to wear with her skirt and blouse made her feel as if she were sitting in a tropical swamp. Everything about the outfit she was wearing, the high-heeled, secretarial pumps purchased at Payless Shoes, the polyester blend of her navy blue skirt, not to mention her fear that there might be sweat stains on the armpits of her blouse following the ride in a sweltering car, felt just plain wrong. At the moment, Gilda felt intense irritation with her mother. The whole notion of a private school for girls, and the entire world in general. Gilda, you're being way too judgmental. Don't forget, I went to a private school myself, and I am obviously no debutante. Gilda knew that this was true. Her mother was a hard-working nurse who wasn't afraid of things like needles, blood, and drains clogged with hair. On the other hand, Gilda knew that the Catholic school her mother had attended in Southfield had little in common with the rarefied, exclusive atmosphere of Our Lady of Sorrows in the Detroit suburb of Bloomfield Hills, commonly known as one of the wealthiest communities in the entire United States. They passed a sign announcing the Bloomfield Hills city limits, and the neighborhood of well-groomed lawns through which Mrs. Joyce had just driven suddenly became a landscape of progressively larger, more elaborate houses. Who lives in these places? Gilda's mother wondered, slowing down and gaping at an enormous white house with pillars. The house seemed to peer down at Mrs. Joyce's aged, unwashed car with disapproval. The girls who go to Our Lady of Sorrows live in these places. If the houses in this neighborhood seem to look down their noses, Gilda thought, what will the girls at Our Lady of Sorrows